Nobody there yet, but anyway, just saying hi. Yes, I'm David, Dr. David Koh. My mum, Eleanor. We're here reading my book, Thriving at Nature's Pace. We're coming towards the end. We're in chapter 17. So that's really good. There are 23 chapters, 5 more to go. So we're still on the part 4, reconciling investments. And we're in the middle of that. We're on the chapter called How Thrive Works. And what this is about, I've forgotten what this is about. This is just a short chapter about how the Thrive coins and the ideas in here connect with investments before we go on to about more specifically how we can do that. So let's start. So, how Thrive works. Thrive works by reinventing money and remaking investments to nature's pace. So there you go, pretty bold statement. This is about businesses coming together to consider the amount of energy they collectively use. The less energy they need to use, the more they will be able to sell back to nature to keep in the ground. This puts a lid on climate change and emphasizes the meaning of nature's pace. It is likely that the world will see increasing conflict. Food, water, energy affordability, and security concerns will keep the global economy perpetually on edge. Central banks will struggle to maintain high interest rates, and governments will find themselves unable to provide help to their citizens. We're kind of seeing that already in this way. Political color will not matter. The economic factors and physical reality will dictate the choices. In addition, and regardless of climate change, before the century's out, the world will need a new energy system. There will be insufficient economically extractable oil, gas, and coal to sustain growth. The only question is whether the reign of oil, gas, and coal will end before the reserves are exhausted or not. That's where the question of a lid on climate change comes in. The question is, how will modern society embrace a new economic thinking to develop at nature's pace? The Keynesian economics that people are most familiar with deals with money. In this, nature is nothing more than something that money buys. However, the action of buying takes energy, and the currency for nature in a new economy is energy. If there's too much energy available, then it will inflate the amount of human activities beyond nature's pace. Nature will be swamped and will end up being destroyed. If there is too little energy available, it will not allow enough activities to keep the economy alive, and in this case, nature may thrive, but society will not. Money and energy become two distinct and separate currencies. They're connected by the actions they facilitate. Energy casts a shadow on the physical consequences of actions, and money casts a shadow on the financial consequences. Actions that require less energy are more likely to have fewer unintended consequences, and it's the same for actions that require less money. This is because with a scarcity of energy and money, these actions will have to be more purposeful. There will be less room for venturing into the pursuit of the more fanciful ideas. Central banks can control the availability of money through interest rates, but who controls energy? Oil and gas and coal markets are currently supply push markets. That is, the producer supplies and pushes the products to the consumer. The consumer pays for the production and recuperates the cost by pushing to users. They stand to lose out if there is insufficient demand. This incentivizes them to constantly seek out new users. To complement this, new reserves have to be found to ensure the demand will last until the last barrel equivalent of oil, gas, and coal has been used. Because the producer is the one pushing the demand, it will constantly seek to increase oil, gas, and coal use. Thrive contracts can change this. It turns the producer of oil, gas, and coal into producers of Thrive contracts. Their profit incentive now comes from Thrive contracts. Since people can use them both for oil, gas, and coal supply and to exchange with nature to keep them in the ground, the producer is now neutral to oil, gas, and coal use. This separates production from use and allows a natural demand to drive the supply. For the energy economy, this separation would limit the total amount of oil, gas, and coal that will be produced. The economics is further flipped when the buyer has to pay up front. This connects the money currency with the energy currency. Central banks adopt easy policies with low, zero, or even negative interest rates in the face of worsening climate change. Then it will make Thrive contracts largely redundant, as free money will always exhaust physical resources. If, however, money is scarce to keep inflation under control, then people will only pay up front for things they genuinely need. It may not be possible to rely on central banks to keep money tight. Politicians will step in to force central banks' hand. In that situation, the energy currency can still limit the use of oil, gas, and coal. This needs the investment community to turn any savings people, businesses, and communities can make in their energy needs into investments using Thrive contracts to not extract oil, gas, and coal. The reason why it's savings in energy is because energy is fungible and can only be used once. When a business uses renewable energy, the energy it has used cannot be used by someone else. That forces another business to use oil and gas and coal. If the first business can make an energy saving and bank that by keeping the equivalent amount of oil and gas and coal in the ground, then the other business will seek out alternative and novel ways to achieve its purpose. This makes it important for each business not only to use no more energy it can genuinely need, but also to bank any energy savings it can make. This needs to reward the energy saver with a return. In the first instance, this is Thrive Coins. And as energy savings are also money savings, with the help of financial engineering, it can be structured to pair with financial investments. The way this may work is to imagine, for example, a family considering a skiing holiday. They may have been doing this as an annual tradition for some time. The timeshare chalet has been fully paid off, the equipment they need is all there, and the car to take them to the resort has been a workhorse and is still running well. So the financial costs are low. In comparison, a country hike closer to home may need more money as the family will have to pay for a place to stay. However, if it is now necessary to consider the energy costs separately with an energy currency, then the ski lifts are energy expensive and the hikes may become a more energy economic choice. This balance between the financial cost and the energy cost is something that the family will have to decide on. This is where the incentives come in. For them to decide on a hike instead, they need to be able to bank the energy savings as an energy currency to derive personal benefits. An entrepreneur may create an app that allows people to track their energy savings and offer the savings through a Thrive fund. This pairs the energy savings with financial incentives to reward the energy saver with Thrive Coins. The investments are registered to the coins and the energy saver can participate with the performance of the Thrive Fund. This is a new investment class that makes it possible for energy savings to be banked like money savings. So there you go. What do you think, Mum? So that's just a way of thinking about two things. We have money and we have energy. And the moment is money is the same as energy because we use money for the energy. If you separate the two of them, then you change between what affects the environment, which is ultimately energy that we use, and what affects us, which very often is the money we use. So we can save them separately, and that allows us to address the problems we have with one more tool. So there you go. So we can turn the light off and be better. Okay. All right. Enough for now. Bye-bye. Thank you very much. Take care, everyone. Hi there.